I was in the Buy Canadian subreddit and came across a couple of articles that are definitely going to be interesting and indicative of where our economy here in the United States is going. It's going to definitely impact a lot of businesses here, all because of Trump. Okay, so here's the article by Ben Shalpig. He says, recently I wrote about how we're seeing a general softening in demand, that's the way to put it, for travel to the U.S. for a variety of reasons. There's no denying that the most contentious situation is between Canada and the U.S., and we have now seen some data that shows just how extreme the change in demand is. Transborder flight bookings are down over 70%. He says, we've known that travel demand between Canada and the U.S. has been decreasing both by air and by roads. We've seen some airlines scale back their flight schedules between the two countries, and we've also seen substantial decline in road border crossings. However, it looks like what we've seen so far is just the tip of the iceberg. Aviation analytics company OAG has published some data on the decline in flight bookings between the two countries, and is worse than most people probably imagined. So he's about to show us numbers for bookings in March 2024 versus March 2025. Let's look at these numbers. Okay, I'm purposely obscuring the numbers right now. He says, well, I hope you're sitting down. For that 6-month period, the number of tickets booked is down anywhere from 71.4% to 75.7%. Just an example, April is less than 1 week away. And here's how the bookings between the two countries are looking. All right, so it says March 2024, 1.2 million tickets have been booked for April 2024. In March 2025, less than 300,000. It says 295,982. That is a humongous drop. 1.2 million versus a little bit less than 300,000 tickets have been booked for April 2025. It says that represents a 75.7% reduction in tickets booked. He says, I knew it was bad, but I didn't expect it would be that bad, as that level of demand shift is something you almost never see. He says everyone can draw their own conclusions as to what's causing this. It's also anyone's guess if we're at rock bottom in terms of consumer sentiment and if we'll see more close-in bookings than in past years. But either way, April is right around the corner and those drops are massive. So then I go to the comments and the spider plant hones in on the part where it says everyone can draw their own conclusions as to what's causing this. And he says, gestures wildly at the geopolitical relations, like this, what is going on here? Infinite Attack says, 51st state talk, tariffs, ICE, is all of the above an option? Bow Bow, I'll say it's Bow Bow, says, I'd say the worst is the 51st state, then border ICE and tariffs, and last but not least, dollar exchange. All these combined created the worst case scenario for U.S. tourism. And this person continues with the unjustified tariffs and finally exchange rate are all factors. He says, honestly, if Trump had come out and said, we value our Canadian friends, but we are implementing tariffs with Congress approval because we're trying to bring jobs home and generate tariff tax revenue, I would think this is completely dumb, but I wouldn't take it as personally as I have. Him making this about us being a drug haven for fentanyl, I understand the legal reasons he did it, and making the 51st state comments consistently have added an additional level of FU to this fight. Had a friend of mine try to tell me that Trump is making the 51st state comments as a way to throw us off as some master bargaining tactic. I told him that deliberately pissing off your negotiating partner in business isn't the same as chirping someone in a hockey game. I asked him how likely he would be to work on a business deal with me if I started negotiations by suggesting I will eventually screw his wife. He was offended by me even suggesting that, which proved my point. That's a good one. High five. Now, this next post is titled, More Maine Businesses Begging for Help Instead of Supporting Canadians. All right, so this is the caption on this before I go to the article. This person says, I was reading through this and almost started to agree with them, but then it hit me. There's a lot of begging for help and rally calling about being good neighbors, and maybe a subtle hit at a disagreement with the Trump government's actions. But I see no evidence these businesses are doing anything to support what Canadians are going through right now. Write letters to your senators, publicly condemn the actions of the government. No, just media tours crying about negative impacts to the small businesses and families that run them. To repeat a comment I read from another Redditor, sorry about your business, but we're literally trying to protect our country from annihilation. So that is what this caption says. Now let's look at this article. All right, so this is titled, Maine Hotel Owners Speak Out Amid Flurry of Cancellations from Canadians. The northeastern U.S. state of Maine has been a popular summer vacation destination for Canadians, particularly Quebecers, for over a century. So much so, Canadians make up over a third of the tourism economy in one particular resort town, Old Orchard Beach. But now, with escalating U.S. trade tensions and Trump's antagonistic rhetoric towards Canadian sovereignty, cancellations have started adding up and hurting, even possibly devastating, some local businesses who have decided to speak out. At the Point of View Inn, a 50-year-old family-run hotel, a greeting note on the website says, Welcome, bienvenue, in a nod to greet its annual French-Canadian visitors. They flock to Old Orchard Beach by the thousands every year. Sterling Morris, owner of the Point of View Inn, said that when Trump began talking about annexing Canada and making it its 51st state, he became worried. On March 4th, then Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's impassioned speech called on Canadians to renew their patriotism and support local. We're angry. We're going to choose to not go on vacation in Florida or Old Orchard Beach, he said at a press conference in response to Trump's tariffs. A small part of me died when I heard that, Morris said about the moment when Trudeau mentions his home by name. Then the cancellation call started coming in. It was pretty bleak, he told Global News in an interview on Tuesday. He said over 90% of his bookings for the summer season began getting paused or canceled entirely. For decades, the vast majority of his customers had been Quebecers. Mike Haley, who runs Paradise Park Resort, says we're up to over 100 cancellations, which is up significantly, 250% or so from what would be normal for this time of year. Haley is also president of the town's Chamber of Commerce. He says Canadians make up 30 to 40% of the revenue for their average seasonal business. There will be an impact, he said. We all just wish this would go away. Owner of On the Beach Hotel, JJ Mokerzal, told Global. It's sad when the people at the top affect the people at the bottom because we really are powerless. Moore says he thinks he'll be able to save his season after a viral interview with CNN led to an inundation of bookings from people, both Canadians and Americans, looking to help save his business from going bankrupt. He says he's also managed to change some minds. We're friends, families, neighbors, you know. You can't break that. This Trump trade war, this Trump session, this Trump, threats of annexation and all of that is going to impact so many people in so many different ways. You think about what happens when you get off of a plane. You go get some lunch. You go buy some things that you missed out on. There are so many businesses that are auxiliary or accessory to the hotel stays. You got rental car companies. You got people that work in restaurants. You got people that provide, swimsuits and hats and all kind of things. So along with all of the tourism that's being impacted from our neighbors in the north, there's also going to be the cascade effect of the people who would typically be making money who can't go shopping in grocery stores because now their money is impacted, because their jobs are impacted, because the revenue that would be coming in for tourism is dropping dramatically. This is going to send shockwaves. It's going to be big, and people are not thinking about the long-term impact. Obviously, we are ruining our reputation and relationships with our trading partners, but we're also causing irreparable damage to these businesses and families and all of this stuff. Anyways, join the conversation. Let me know what you think about all of this. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. So I was looking through the economic collapse subreddit. Yes, I know this is a little bleak, but I came across this article. It says Walmart CEO Doug McMillon says customers are exhibiting stressed behaviors and is already tanking the company's valuation by $22 million. This person at the bottom, and I am going to get into the article, but this person, Bluey Bingo, says, as a Walmart employee, know that they've been drastically cutting hours since January. Sure, they always cut hours in the beginning of the year, but this has been going on much longer than normal. We're going into April now. Also, there's a lot less shoppers in the store regularly. So here's the article from Fortune. All right, so let's get into this article. It says Walmart's market cap dropped by $22 billion after news broke Tuesday that consumer confidence in the U.S. plummeted to a 12-year low. CEO Doug McMillon had just said last month that he noticed stressed behavior from consumers who were more budget constrained. Consumer confidence is waning and is hurting retailers big and small. It has even come from the world's largest retailer, Walmart, which has lost nearly $22 billion off of its valuation on Tuesday. Walmart's share price dropped about 3% by market close on Tuesday, resulting in its market cap falling to roughly $680 billion. So they're still doing okay. This comes at the heels of mega e-commerce retailer Amazon dethroning Walmart and its quarterly revenue for the first time ever last month. Uncertainty about the economy can be partly to blame. Consumer confidence hit a 12-year low amid concerns about tariffs and inflation, the conference board reported Tuesday. This was the fourth consecutive month consumer confidence fell. The index fell to 65.2, which is well below the threshold of 80 that usually signals a recession ahead. Consumers' optimism about future income, which had held up quite strongly in the past few months, largely vanished, suggesting worries about the economy and labor market have started to spread into consumers' assessments of their personal situation. Stephanie Guichard, senior economist at the conference board, said in a statement, yes, because they don't know if they're going to have a future income when we have a Trump session. We have these people that are slashing jobs, and that's going to have ripple impacts. It's going to have a cascade impact throughout the economy. So they shouldn't have optimism. Walmart CEO Doug McMillon had also warned about consumer confidence during a February 27th talk at the Economic Club of Chicago. He noted that budget-pressured customers were reducing their spending and showing stressed behaviors. You can see that money runs out before the month is gone. You can see that people are buying smaller pack sizes at the end of the month, McMillon said. It says how consumer confidence affects companies' bottom line. Dwindling consumer confidence is a worrying sign that our economic recovery may be stalling. You don't say. It says Wallet Hub analyst Chip Lupo said in a statement to Fortune. Other consumer behaviors experts warn that consumer confidence likely won't recover quickly. While the pain of inflation is hurting many Americans right now, the effect of inflation on your cost of living just compounds over time. Kelly Levine, vice president of consumer insights at insurance companies Allianz Life, told Fortune in a statement, that means inflation will continue to erode your purchasing power unless you have a long-term strategy to address it. All right, so let's get into some of these comments. I already went over Bluey Bingo's comment talking about she's an employee and they've been cutting hours and she's seeing less shoppers. And then Fitbus says, true, I went in for a few things yesterday. Only one cashier lane open, one in each side of self-checkout. Few walking around stocking. Everything fully stocked. People just aren't shopping. And then No Signal says, almost like no one has any effing money. Endocrine System says, Elon's got it all. And then Duke of Gibbon says, or any regular money, because this person says any effing money, and Duke of Gibbon says, or any regular money. Debt Otherwise says, yeah, but wholesale eggs are down, so. And then Debt Otherwise says, yeah, but wholesale egg prices are down, so. And then Landscape at the bottom says, same. I have been using every product I have before going to buy more and had to go to my local Walmart Monday. No one was shopping, not one dent in any of the seasonal items, and I stuck to my list and left. How many people are doing that? Having a list, going in, grabbing the couple of things on your list, and then leaving. None of those extra purchases like, yes, I could probably use this. Oh man, that looks cool. Let me grab that. How many people are going in, grabbing what they need, and bouncing? Desperate Strategy says, I was there yesterday too. Very quiet. Even if it was a weekday. I just grabbed diapers and wipes and literally went straight to the checkout. Usually I have a big issue with impulse buying, LOL, and market is terrible for me. But lately it's been a lot easier to just grab basic necessities and run. And if you only have money for basic necessities, it's not really hard to go in and grab the basic necessities. She says, if I have money for something beyond what I need, I'm not spending it at Walmart anyway. I'll find a local business I like or buy it used on eBay. But Walmart gets as little of my money as possible. I'm switching to buying groceries at Costco next month too, just to try to cut Walmart off completely. So some of Walmart's lack of shoppers is because of the boycott that's going on. So Chadwick said, look again next week. I live in a rural, poor area where a lot of people are on food stamps because there's very little work here. It recharges on the 1st and tons of people will clean house on our Walmart during that first week. But at the end of the month, they're trying to last until the next payment. So the Walmart is well stocked again from so many less shoppers. So that could be something to think about. This person says, I'm a Walmart employee and I've noticed this too. I think mass layoffs are around the corner. And so this is what I'm talking about with the cascade effect, because Walmart is not in the federal government sector that's just slashing people's jobs, but it is impacted because it's slashing people's funds, and the people that are being fired are not going to have as many funds to go out and go shopping. So this is going to keep impacting everybody. Okay, so then this person at the bottom says, the sign of a strong economy. And then he added this S, saying, didn't think this was necessary, but maybe it is. But sometimes people are just not in the mood for sarcasm right now. Anyways, let me know what you think about all of this. What are you seeing in your local stores? It does not necessarily have to be Walmart, because yes, I do understand that some people are still boycotting. So join the conversation. Let me know what you're seeing as far as shopping. And are you going into stores, grabbing the 3 to 4 things on your list and bouncing? Or do you have some money, or, you just keeping everything close because you don't know, what the economy is going to hold, especially next week, because these Trump tariffs are coming. Let me know in the comments, like, comment, and share. Okay, I got one more post from the Economic Collapse subreddit. This one's titled, Americans' Outlook on Economy Becomes a Bit More Pessimistic. Just a bit. And before I get into the article, just a couple of these comments. Like Pixie Quick says, and I say, just a bit, not a whole lot. Glittering Evening says, for real, I make way more than I did 5 years ago, and I cannot afford jack. I'm a store manager, and people are buying way less than I've ever seen. I go hours with like 5 customers. Never seen it like this. And then Life Sage at the bottom says, right? I've stopped buying anything I don't absolutely need. This is just the tip of the iceberg. Things will get much worse if someone doesn't grow a spine and check Trump's insanity. All right, let's get into this article from The Hill. All right, like I already said, the article is titled, Americans' Outlook on Economy Becomes a Bit More Pessimistic. Just a bit. All right, it says, the new CBS News YouGov survey found that nearly 3 in 10 respondents, 29%, said they expected the economy to be growing next year. That's a 5-point decline from February. The number of Americans who think the economy will be in a recession in 2025 went up 5 points, going from 23% in February to 28% this month. Approximately 25% of respondents, the same number as last year, said the economy would be slowing in 2025. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. I say we are headed towards a Trump session. We're headed towards not just a Great Depression. It's going to be huge. It's going to be an amazing Great Recession because of Trump and all of these these trade wars, these Trump tariffs. All of this is going to be huge. All right, let's get into some more numbers. Around 57% of those earning under 50K said their financial situation is bad, while 39% said that it was good. Okay. It says among those bringing in between 50 and 100K annually, 61% stated that their financial situation is good. However, 35% said it was bad. Just a third of Americans, 33%, said the economy is good right now, the same number as last month. Around 60% of respondents said the economy is in a bad condition, a figure that has stayed the same since February, according to the survey. A majority of U.S. adults, 76%, argued that their income is not keeping up with inflation, while just under a quarter, 24%, said the opposite, according to the poll. Some 70% of respondents are also anxious about retirement savings, whereas 30% they said that they are secure. So I would like for you to let me know, do you feel secure right now? And what are you doing about it? What are you holding on to all the money? Are you just in wait and see? Are you using up every single thing and then going out and buying that one thing? How are you handling things right now? I'm going to get into the comments, and remember, this is the economic collapse subreddit, so people might have more of a pessimistic stance on things, like the IT guy right here saying, we're effed. This master of disaster has 6 bankruptcies in his lifetime, and he's making America his 7th. Unlucky Apartment says, no one with half a brain would vote for this idiot. To those who did, I say, I hope you feel the pain that's about to hit us all. And I continue to say that. I hope it hits them first and worse. Flannery says, LOL becomes, what? What rock did they look under to find these people optimistic about it? Not the advice you're after says, a bit? The world will crush the Americans economically back to the 1850s, just about where Trump wants to put you. Yes, they don't even want to go back to the 1950s. They want to go to the 1850s, where they could just enslave us all and put us on, these farms, these plantations, where they need people to pick their cherries and their apples and their oranges off the ground that are just falling because they don't have labor to pick these fruits and veggies up off the ground. Happy Boysenberry says, I'd like to deport the entire Trump administration to Mars. I will agree to that. Eastmine says, was truly excited for the egg price to drop, but not so much my nest egg reduction. Flashy Rogue says, a bit. Everyone I know is in panic mode. Cozy and Lolly says, average voter realizing this isn't like the last term where you can turn off the news and things were okay. Now it's in your face everywhere, and we tried to tell them. We did try to tell them. Yeah. Nobody listened to us. Careful Ad says, a bit. Okay Tradition says, duh. Boys Forever says, I'm hunkering down, yet I guess is one that rather be spending. Doesn't help the market keeps dropping from these highly regarded tariffs, especially the wax on, wax off uncertainty. I like to call it the tariff pokey. You put your tariffs in, you put your tariffs out, you put your tariffs in, and you shake it all about. So that's where we are right now, the tariff hokey. And then this person at the bottom, I'm ending it with, this MF erased all the progress we've had since COVID. All of the uncertainty, all of the just waking up and getting on social media and tweeting things. He's doing everything that he can to jack everybody up, create a stress level, create a fear level where people just have to sit down at home. All of that sitting down at home is just going to make everything just, everything is just going to contract. Who's going to book flights for summertime vacations? Who's going to plan trips to go visit their families in another state? People are just going to sit at home. It's about to be a mess. I don't know what else to say. Join the conversation. Let me know what you think about all this. Like, comment, and share. Yeah, I know. I'm kind of exasperated at the end of this. Sorry. Like, comment, and share.